Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Knights of the Alternate Table. In today's video, we're gonna have a three-parter series, What if France won World War II? Now I know most people are iffy on the three-parters, but I think you would really enjoy this. I go way in depth, so make sure to like and subscribe to stay tuned, and ring that notification bell to make sure that you don't forget it. Oh, and one more thing, leave your alternate histories in the comments down below. We're gonna have a special 200 sub special. 1936, and the map looks like this, with Germany preparing to invade Poland with the Soviet Union, and France being careful about Germany, but preparing its military for the time to write. The only way France could really win World War II would be to strike the Germans when they're distracted, to not do the phony war, but to actually fight and not be scared that they might shoot back at you. This would be With the invasion of Poland, the war begins. France starts quickly rushing its troops to the Maginot Line to prepare its defense, but then realizes that maybe they can actually fight and strike, and start striking a few early battles with Germany and their forces still distracted from Poland. Poland now trying to hold out as long as they're possible to try and get Allied support. This would greatly help Poland, as now France promises to attack with them. They would quickly move along the Swiss-Germanic border. This would quickly help the French supports, as now the Germans are losing more and more Austria, who would start rallying to the call of the French, especially the Austrian resistance that was small but still effective, trying to rush to Bavaria to try and stop this. This would really hurt Germany's economy by taking out the industrial portions. Poland would now start pushing, with Germany sending their forces to try and fight the French and British forces. This would allow Poland to push, and the Soviets promising not to advance between a certain line, they would agree to it, as it's better fighting a one-front war than a two-front war. But this would greatly hurt Polish morale, and millions of Poles would start fleeing back to Poland instead of staying in the USSR. To Poland and France. Now, once happened, Hungary would also start getting invaded, as Hungary would also focus on French, as who would expect Poland, almost already defeated entirely, and the Soviet Union would officially draw their border, though this would be disputed and would have to see outside help to officially be decided. Meanwhile, Germany would start begging Italy for help, who would refuse. Italy, what are you doing? You were gonna plan on helping me invade France. Yeah, Germany, I know, but you're kind of losing. Yeah, which is why I need your help. You can strike at them. But we don't even share a border pretty much anymore. And the French troops have troops along my border too. And I'm just gonna take Spain's route and stay out of this. Italy, you traitor! This is what you did in World War I. Yeah, and I won. With Italy refusing to help, the German armies would be crushed more and more. Though, deciding to remain and stand for thinking that they could win, the German High Command would continue and prepare defense of Berlin. The French forces would start attacking and would coordinate with the Polish forces to split Germany in two and just destroy the Axis in one fell swoop. Meanwhile, after this fell swoop, Slovakia and Hungarian forces would still be holding on, as well as German forces, mainly in Danzig, who would have a giant siege that would see the bloodiest fighting of this small World War II. Now, the Soviets would start pulling back their forces from Poland, no longer fearing an invasion from the Allies and smiling as Germany falls, and would start trying to instigate communist revolution. Meanwhile, Hungarian and Slovakia and Germany would start getting crushed. Meanwhile, Danzig would still hold on and start preparing a Dunkirk of this war, trying to defend Berlin once again, which would nearly be taken. And once again, the German leader would shoot himself and leave Germany in the hands of the other command ship, who would decide to surrender with one last fight. After one last blitzkrieg, Hungary and Germany would decide to surrender, not being able to push out of the small bubble that they were enclosed in. But the German High Command would start fleeing, still having access to seaports, and without a blockade going on because Britain wasn't very much involved in this war besides land, would decide to fight. France would take the industrial part of the Rhineland and divide it into Schleswig-Holstein, the Rhineland itself, Bavaria, Germany, and Württemberg, trying to divide them up quickly. This would lead to Germany being crushed and destroyed, with independence movements might rising up, but overall being crushed by the overall authoritarian now French regime in Germany. Hey, Spain? Italy? Germany just kind of fell apart, so you want to do alliance instead? Well, are you in any wars I could get dragged in? Oh, no, I'm fine with that. Would you pay to help me rebuild my economy? Yeah, sure. Okay, then sure, why not? Let's make an alliance together. I mean, there's no way you're gonna go off and invade somewhere. Yeah, totally not Yugoslavia. Wait, what? There would be two German reunification parties trying to go around to unite them. The Democratic Party, who would have a black, red, white flag with the red slash through them to show the bleeding and divided Germany, but needing to be united, who would be more supported by the British governments, as France would not want any united Germany, but Britain would support this party. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union would have its own sponsored party, and they would be known as the Communist Party of Germany, also with a white slash to show a divided Germany and a divided economic with the gear in the center to show its industrial might if it united. It would have the classic design of the black, red, and yellow flag to try and get more nostalgia for people to join. Hey France, it's me, Communism. I'm here to turn you communist again, because you always agree with me, and that's what always happens in these alternate history videos. I'm actually good. What do you mean? Didn't you get sour and bitter? No, since I won this world war, it showed faith in the democracy that we had, and so the Democratic Party was put in power again, so I'm good from becoming communist. Meanwhile, Bavaria would start its own party of monarchies. This would lead to 3 parties all bowing down in each state. Even though with different states, they would basically have the same parliamentary system, much like in France at this time. And each one would try and get votes, all promising a united Germany. This would overall fail. Next, Eastern Austria, having a smaller Hungarian population and wanting to relive the good old days, would go to unite with them. France, not liking this, would try to go in, but the Soviet Union, who would want to stage an uprising in Hungary after this ravishing defeat and having to pay war reparations, would want a stronger Hungary in order to fight France when the war eventually broke out. And we're gonna end this video off with the US that is still just a sleeping giant, not wanting to be involved in political affairs, but the German election, where the states closer to France and Britain would choose the Democratic Party, Bavaria choosing the Monarch Party, Austria-Hungary choosing the Monarch Party, and Western Germany choosing the Communist Party with Schleswig-Holstein to try and become a strong focus against the French horde who they saw broke up Germany just to destroy them. Well, that was a fun new series. Was actually kind of fun to do one that wasn't a collab because I did my 2 other collabs all in this one too. So I hope you guys do enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe so I can keep on producing these videos for you. And you know what? you should watch more videos. Actually, you shouldn't. You will. You will watch more videos. I am hypnotizing you now. And if you don't, well, wow, what a great video. I just got cut out there, so I'm not gonna finish that sentence. On your right is my most recent video, and on your left is a video YouTube thinks you should really watch for some reason. Don't know why. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and goodbye!